What's going on? Welcome to the takeover. And this is presented to you by the Any and Everything podcast. Shout out to our brothers, for giving us our segment, one Sunday every month, which is the first Sunday. So welcome, welcome. I'm your girl Lauren, and I'm gonna throw it over to Mel.
Hey y'all, I'm Mel. Thanks for joining us today. We got a great topic for y'all, so stick around to the end.
Yes. And I'm Amber. For y'all who don't know, I am the little sister of Marcus, who's in the men's podcast. We sort of look alike, not really. I'm better looking. But yes, so before we get over or start talking about the topic, how was everyone's week so far?
I'm gonna say, I start. My week was work. I went back home to Jersey last weekend, and that's always fun when I get there. But then I end up having some car trouble, and I end up getting stuck an extra day and had to call out of work, which is something I can't stand doing. But nonetheless, we got everything resolved and made it back home safely. I did get pulled over though on my way going. I got pulled over going there at like 3 something in the morning. The cop was like, "Oh, you was doing 102." Let me tell you something right now. I'm as black as they come, but when that white cop was like, "You was doing 102," I was like, "Sir, I promise I wasn't doing it." I promise. But other than that, it's been a successful week. Hey, that's my boo Hasana right there. She checking in from Jersey.
Hey.
Well, my week was eventful. I guess I'm gonna start off with Monday. Monday, I went on a trash date.
Oh no.
And leave that right there. Wednesday, so I tried to do a self-care day on Wednesday, but got my facial, getting ready to go to the chiropractor, got done with the chiropractor, and then I got into a small little accident, hit and run, attempted hit and run. I'm not gonna speak too much on that, but she didn't get away. But I'm a little sore from that today, so I'm on meds. Thursday I worked, and then let me see, Saturday my nephew's birthday party, had some good fun there, so that kind of brought a sour highlight to my sour week, the birthday party. So
Well, thank God you okay. That's all that matters.
Yeah, for real.
What's going on with you, Amber?
Yes, my week was not as eventful, but it was pretty straightforward. I had a nice smooth week going to work, coming home. I was a little busy at work, so it had some chaos here and there, but nothing that I couldn't handle. So yeah, I was definitely. It was one of those weeks where the weekend was much more appreciated. So yeah, then the weekend was nice as well. I was able to just chill out, recuperate, and I feel a little bit more prepared to start another week. So far so good.
That's what's up. All right, but we ready to get into this topic?
Yes.
Right
it's
now.
a tight one.
Well, We're going to be talking about today female friendships. You know, how we view them, what we see within them, how we know what our experiences have been with them, and hopefully, the takeaways we've gotten from those friendships and what we're looking forward to, and and our future friendships. If anybody's open to starting new, friendships.
Hmm.
Just to kick it off, Amber, tell me what you think. What is your definition of like a female friendship?
So for me, it's someone who's been with me through it all. Like we've had some challenges. I feel like someone is really like we really get a bond once we start going through shit together. So like, cause sometimes, you can get into it with somebody, have your differences, your disagreements, and you don't come back from it. But
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a true friend is someone I can have those disagreements with, and it's no harm done. We can agree to
Right.
disagree, or we can come to a common ground, and it just makes us stronger in the long run. And that's just generally who I think a good friend is someone who's been there with me through thick and thin.
Okay. All right. Mel, what do you think female friendship is? What do you
Sort
see
of
it
the
as?
same, sort of the
The
same.
same.
Somebody you can confide in, somebody you can talk to, somebody you can be there for, and it doesn't feel like you're doing too much or
Hmm.
it's hard. Somebody that'll be there for you, and it doesn't feel like to them that they're doing too much or it's too hard for them.
Hmm.
Um, I feel like with female friendships, it can be hard. I know we're gonna get into that, but I feel like true, genuine female friendships are easygoing. Yeah, easygoing.
Hmm. Okay.
What about you?
Honestly, my view of female friendship, what I, think it is, support, not carrying, because it's a difference,
Right.
support, unconditional respect and love. No matter what decisions I make in my life that you don't necessarily agree with, and those have been the most important things. And I feel like everything else falls into place when you have someone who respects whatever it is you're doing and don't judge you behind it. They respect you as a person. They may not necessarily agree with what you're doing, but they respect you as a person. The love, and that grows and that comes within time.
Mm,
I don't put a time limit on friendship anymore. That was something that I used to do, but I have learned that you can meet somebody today that can be the soulmate, your friend mate, forever, and versus somebody you've known your entire life, depending on whatever age you are, you know. So that's just kind of like what it is for me.
yeah. Yeah, I completely agree with that. Somebody who's it, and when I say easygoing, I mean like it's not hard. Like if your friend going through a hard time, you just there.
Right,
It's
right,
not. You don't have to think about it. Like, should I? Shouldn't I?
right.
Or are we that close for me to be there or whatever? It's just in your head. You're just there. You know, it's
Mm-hmm.
easy. It's easy for you to make that decision. Why? Because you got that connection. And I
Right.
feel like that's true female friendship. A lot of times we get into these friendships that because we might admire a person or we might like them from the
Mm-hmm.
outside looking in. So we try to be their friend when
Yep.
really we don't really like their personality once we get into it.
That
But
part.
we try to hold on to it because we like something. Maybe it's the attention they get, the clout they have,
Mm-hmm.
whatever the case may be, and we try to hold on to that. But it's like if y'all don't gel, that's not a real
Right.
friendship. If you're trying to chase after it and hold on to it and all of that stuff,
Right.
real friendships don't take a lot of work, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, no, go ahead.
I was gonna put a question out there. What, in your opinion, what do you think make female friendships different than male friendships?
I think emotions, because I have. It's not an equal number. I have a lot of male friends. I have a lot of female friends. And I will honestly say that my male friendships are very easy. They get on
Mm-hmm.
my nerves,
Mm-hmm.
but they very easy. But my female friendships, Some of them are easy, but some of them are weight. And what I mean
Right.
by that is we carry so much as women, and we're there for each other as friends. If we're real friends, we're there for each other. But the
Mhm.
emotion behind it, especially women are empaths a lot of times. Like a lot of
Mhm.
us are empaths. So we carry the weight of our friends, and
Mhm.
we get emotional with our friends. And sometimes they bring emotions that we don't want to carry, but we do because that's our friend. And it's a lot. It's a lot of layers to female
Mhm.
friendships. But when it comes to male friendships, it seems like it's like that's my homeboy. You know what I mean? Like I
Right.
ain't got no really got too much weight on that. Yeah, they got some stuff going on sometimes. They get on your nerves a lot of the time, dating experiences or whatever, marriage or whatever they have going on. But it's not so much weight to it as the emotional aspect of a female friendship, in my opinion.
Mhm.
I would probably say that it's communication for me that tends to make men relationships and friendships better amongst each other than it is for us. We are not very good communicators with each other without having to think too much. Men is very easy. They communicate. They have an unspoken type of communication, and men will go to each other. I mean, sometimes I'm very jealous of friendships that men have because it's been very hard for me to experience such a friendship. A man can go to another man and he can say something, let's just say, oh man, I caught my girl cheating on me or whatever like that. I caught her talking to somebody else, stuff like that. That man gonna go and buy that man a drink if he drink. He gonna buy that man a cigar if he smoke. They gonna go roll up if it's all like that, and they gonna sit back and they ain't gonna say nothing. Everything is being said in those quiet moments. Not us women. Girl, you need to leave him. Girl, leave him alone. Why?
What? You want to pull up? Let's
You
pull
want
up.
exactly why?
All that.
First of all, why are we doing all that? I'm not gonna ever tell. I'm in no position, first of all, to ever tell another woman to leave a man for any reason whatsoever because I have stayed multiple times in different situations. And yeah, let me deal with that on my own as I go through my own emotions where my shoulda, coulda, wouldas. I don't need my female friend throwing it in my face because guess what? Even though I'm sitting here saying I love him, and I want to stay, I'm already thinking about I know better. I deserve better. Why am I still here? But I'm hoping for better. I have that in my mind. I don't need you already saying that to me. So I make it a point to never say that to another female. It's the
Right.
communication that makes men relationships amongst each other, their friendships better than ours. That's how I kind of view it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm about to say I feel the same. I feel like uh, friendships between females is definitely it takes a lot more to keep them to keep those relationships. And
Right.
like so I have read on calendar-canada.com something like that. Because that's the reason why I asked, because they what they found was made it different was that female friendships are more fragile, and they quote, I guess, by disclosing vulnerable information to their close friends, they're able to build trust and they're better able to hold on to this smaller circle of friends. And as a result, women's friendships tend to be more intense than men's, but also more fragile. And like Mel said, women get more personal and like to share our emotions, thoughts, feelings, and things like that.
Mhm.
So I feel like that those friendships can be, it just seems like it's a lot more at stake because we like to talk to each other, tell each other what's going on in our personal
Mm-hmm.
lives. And and you really like I said, you really build trust with that other person, that other woman in this
Right.
case. Whereas men, they don't really like talking about their feelings like that. Like, I literally talk to my male coworkers and I ask them genuinely, I say, how would you feel if one of your male coworkers came to work crying? Kid you not, most of them say they'll laugh. And
Mhm.
and I'm like, that is
Mhm.
not cool. You're not gonna go, comfort him. He says no, or if I do, I'm gonna just like give him a drink, or say,
Mhm.
but they ain't gonna ask him what he crying about. They just feel a
Right.
little comfortable most of the time doing that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I definitely think
You
that.
know what? I think it has to do with the setting too.
Mhm.
If a man walked into his job and he's just in tears, they're gonna laugh. They are gonna laugh. I mean, shit. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be honest. I'll probably laugh. I mean, but I'm built a little differently. I would probably laugh. But I'm just saying, like, it's different. It's the setting. If that man goes to that man's house and that man opens that door and see his friend on the porch crying, he's gonna instantly be like, bro, what's going on? And he's gonna tell him to come in the house. He's gonna go find a space for them, and he's gonna let that man get it out. It's always about the setting. It's different for us females. It don't matter the setting. If let me tell you something right now, my girlfriend that commented, Hassan. Let me tell you something right now. If she called me crying, I don't care what I'm doing. I could be taking a shower. I could be taking a shit. She called me cry. I'm gonna stop everything I'm doing because now I feel like I have to tend to whatever it is she need. Men are not like that, and you know what I'm saying. They just be like, nah, bro, call me back later when you get yourself together and we'll talk about it. You know what I'm saying? But it's just about how we're built. You feel me?
Right, right.
Yeah, yeah. We're nurturers by nature.
Right.
So we already in there. We hear a sniffle. We like, what's wrong?
Right.
Even if the person's sick, we're like, what's wrong? What you need? Well, go take this, go take that, go do this, go do that. Did you do
Mm-hmm.
this? How's your blood pressure going? What's going on? Like we're nurtured
Right.
by nature, so it's just in our nature to just want to care for our friends
Mm-hmm.
and want to see about them. Not saying that males don't care, not saying that they don't see about their friends, because I do know some very great male friendships that probably have only lasted because they care about each other.
Mm-hmm.
But we're extra. I don't know how else to say it. We are extra when it comes to caring for
Right.
our friend. The ones that are really our friends,
Right.
we go over and beyond for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I had to work on my nurturing side a little bit because I think having a lot of brothers growing up bit me in the butt a little bit. So like when I was younger though, like much younger, and if I was like kicking one of my friends and she start crying, or if me and her having a little disagreement and I say something and she start crying because I hurt her feelings, I'm just like, so, but I got better at that because I really didn't know what to do when someone was crying. I didn't know how to react. I was kind of awkward about it. But I got older, got mature, had more
Mhm.
experiences. I got better with that. I'll admit that
You
was
know
one of my
what?
issues as a friend starting out.
I'm glad you said that, and I'm happy you said that because this is a prime example of the females that we interact with and we become friends with. Do they truly understand who we are? That's it right there. It's a lot of women that just don't understand the women that they're calling friends.
That's
And they're
true.
saying that that's my friend, that's my sister, that's my whoever, and you don't even know that person. So me coming into a friendship with you, Amber, and I see, let's say you got seven brothers. Honey, she is not my emotional friend because she used to being getting Indian burns, and she used to being put in headlocks and drug around the floor by her hair or her shirts or her clothes, and I didn't grow up in that environment. So I need someone more like Mel. I know Mel is going to be the one that I'm going to go to let all, that steam out, get them tears out and things like that. But when I'm ready to be like, oh, I'm ready to tear something up, or I'm ready to be like, just be like, forget them or whatever like that, I can go to Amber because Amber got that Mel type of understanding of, girl, bye. Like, leave him. What you worried about it for? You still crying? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just understanding
Yep.
the females that you call friends, understanding who they
Mhm.
are, their personality traits, and things like that, and knowing what you can take to them will honestly save your friendships in a lot of cases. Not in all, though, because you just have some women, we'll get to this, but you just got some women that don't know how to be friends. They were not raised up in love, respect, care, concern whatsoever. They were raised up in savage times, and that's how they continue on in their adult life. But we're going to
Yeah,
get to that.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I had
yeah.
to learn how to tap into my feminine side, and it was about in high school because it took a long time. I got two older brothers. One is like only a year and some change older than me. The other one's a couple more years older. But then my sister is the oldest, so we're like almost 10 years apart. So we never really were interacting like that growing up. So, and neither one of us are girly girls. I've become girly over the years. So it took some time for me to get to the sensitive side of myself. But then when I got there, it's like all hell broke loose when I got to the sensitive side. It's like I don't know how to control it now. I'm just caring for everybody. Everybody, what y'all need? I got it.
Mhm.
Come to me. And it's like, I gotta I'm still working on it. I gotta find balance.
Yeah.
But it
Mhm.
took a minute to get there. Because I was like that how Amber was. I didn't have very many girlfriends when I was little because it was like I'm used to going outside with the boys and playing.
Right.
I ain't used to doing the Barbie dolls. My Barbie dolls, all I did was did their hair. So it wasn't no playing house, wasn't no doing all of that. So it
I
took
used to
me a
get
minute
mine right.
to like adapt to that female. I got more female friends when I was in high school
Mhm.
and started to see things. I'm like, this is how girls
Mhm.
act. Oh, this is how
Mhm.
I'm supposed to act. I'm supposed to be like acting prissy and cute and all of that. Okay, well let me switch up a little bit. But I never really lost my tomboy way. So
Mhm.
sometimes I get to the point where like y'all too emotional. I gotta
Right.
go.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Mm,
I think Moan is and he's absolutely right with his second comment. He said women suck at having a bunch of female friends, but you'll have a couple, and that we do tend to have more male friends, and that is honestly true because men come with no drama. You know, now you do have a few that are drama filled. Those are typically the queens. We love the queens, but for an actual man who is just looking for a real, genuine, platonic friendship, he's not coming with all that drama. He's going to give you the male version of everything. And that typically makes a lot of us who carry more testosterone in our body feel more comfortable with being around more men. You have some women who just they can't handle being friends with men, you know what I'm saying, in any aspect, or at least they'll have one male best friend, but they can't have a bunch of male friends. They don't understand it. They don't understand the way they talk, the way they move, and it doesn't sit right with them. And that's because they have less testosterone in their body. And that's just human nature in that sense. But for me, I've always had more male friends, even growing up. I had two male best friends my entire childhood. I had one female best friend, and that was it. I just couldn't get down with a lot of females. I started paying attention to things very early. And this was something that a lot of other females unfortunately were privy to. They were just looking at having a group of friends. I watched all the girls in my high school. It was a clique of them, six, seven, eight of them. They just ran together. And here I was with this one female friend, maybe it's a second female friend. And that was it, because that's where I felt comfortable, because I didn't trust these hoes. Like I didn't trust them when I was younger, you know what I'm saying? Because it was like they moved differently. They even in high school they was sleeping with your boyfriend and stuff like that, and it was like, how you
mhm.
supposed to be my friend if you out here, or I'm watching you sleep with somebody else's boyfriend? You don't have female friend like qualities in you that stimulate my friendship.
Right, right.
So it's like I can't deal with you on that level because you a snake. But I still made mistakes as I got older and befriended other people who I shouldn't have. But you live and you learn. Another thing that I would love for women to figure out is how to be accepting of their friendships and their growth pattern within friendships. It's okay for your friends to grow and elevate a little bit above you or beyond you, and you not feel like, oh, you changing. But in a way I
Mhm.
am, but it's not to step on you, it's not to belittle you, but it's in a sense of hopefully to encourage you. To encourage
Right.
you to tap into whatever I tapped into that got me to where I am right now. But see,
Yeah.
a lot of us don't possess that.
Yeah. We don't celebrate each
Right.
other enough.
Mm-mm.
If somebody gets elevated to a certain place in their life,
Yep.
it's like we try to figure out where we fit in it. I ain't gotta fit in your elevation. I'm celebrating you. I'm happy for you. If
Yep.
anything, I'm gonna try to see how I can elevate. You
Hmm.
gonna motivate me. I want friends that's motivating, not somebody I gotta have a silent competition with. And I think that's the case with a lot of female friendships.
Hmm.
We
Mhm.
tend to have silent competitions with each other, and
Hmm.
it's like, no, we don't need to have those type of those competitions with each other. For what? Like, I'm me, you're you. We have God created us to have different personalities for a reason.
Yep.
And I always tell people too,
Hey,
no two,
Mama.
and this kind of hi, this kind of
Mhm.
ties into it too. No two black people are the same color. Even twins that are identical are not the same shade,
Yep.
and that's for a reason.
Hmm.
No two people mentally are, even those same twins are not the same mentally.
Hmm.
They may have twin tuition and all of that, but
Hmm.
they have distinct personalities for a reason, and we
Yep.
all do. So it's not, we don't have to be in competition with each other. We should be motivating each other and feeding off of each other and
Hmm.
growing together. When my homegirl grow, I'm proud of her, and I'm trying to grow myself, and she proud of me. That's how
Yep.
it should be. It shouldn't be no. She got some new Louis Vuittons. I guess I gotta get some Gucci's. Like,
Mm-mm.
no, you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Celebrate the fact that she got a raise and wanted to reward herself with a pair of Louis
That part.
and keep it moving.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
that
that has to
comparison.
be.
Yeah.
That's true. That's real. What you're saying is actually, I know I mentioned this to you earlier, but there's like a list of like the 10 signs that your friend is not really a friend. I'll get to that later though, but I do think this is a good segue to list what actually causes the ends of the end of a friendship or what causes them to grow apart. Because I feel
Mhm.
like we're touching a lot on that right now. So, according to Calendar Canada, um, some of the reasons that friends tend to grow distant is they either move far away from each other, someone gets into a relationship and spends more time with their partner,
Mhm.
they have children, or they start focusing more on their family, or they start gravitating toward other people who are aligned with their career goals. And the top reasons that cause the friendships to end altogether, because that's usually, you might still be friends with that person, but you might grow distant.
Mhm.
The reasons that some of the friendships end altogether is, generally speaking, selfishness. So someone looking after their own interests, not being supportive of the other friend, being dishonest towards the other friend, or taking more than giving.
Right.
Those are considered like the top reasons that friendships in general just end, which that does happen, unfortunately, in friendships.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I
Well,
really
I'll
But
tell you this. I experienced that. I had a friend for almost 15 years, and I would say they need to put in there. It's once again going back miscommunication, and
mm,
our friendship ended over miscommunication. There, it was a thing of she assumed I said and I did. She never asked me if I said or if I did.
mm,
And so that was the miscommunication. You should be able to, and if you really know someone, and when they're lying, because we get that telepathy thing with our friends, that friend telepathy
mm,
thing. I know she lying. Like, I can just tell by the way she blinked that right eye. She lying. We understand that part of our friend. And so instead of asking me if I did or if I said, she just assumed because some of the pieces of the broken puzzle started to kind of point in that direction, but she never confirmed.
mm,
We have not spoken in 3 years.
oh
mm,
man,
And then another thing that women do that I cannot for the life of me, she took it to social media and she rallied a whole group of people to
they
come
always do.
and silently bash me. They didn't know she was talking about me at the time, but they came in and they jumped on her side, silently bashing me. See, that's something we've got to stop doing as women. First of all, get the hell off of social media with everything. If you ain't
yeah,
up there playing around with, I get up there on social media, I play around here and there. Sometimes I post something that's a little deep, a little real. But as far as whatever I'm going through, nobody on social media has ever heard me talk about what it is I'm going through personally, whether it's my friendships or my marriage or my mother or my father, none of that stuff. That stuff don't belong on social media. And
Mm,
we as women tend to do that a lot. We take everything that, oh, I'm single, back single, what Glorilla say, F and F, and like, what? Why we doing all that? And then just to turn around and be back with that same nigga,
yep.
right,
talk
Seen
about
it.
that woman, and be back with them same friends, posting pictures a
right.
month or two later. And
Mm,
it's like, what are we doing? Why are we even going that far? Why are we not taking the time out to resolve stuff? Men will be like, is he moving funny? They'll say this to themselves. Is he moving funny? All right, I gotta get to the bottom of this. That man will pick up that phone and call that man, or he will go to that man's house. If you know you close enough and you go to that man will pop up at that man. I'm like, bro, you got a second? I need to talk to you real quick. Like, let's go sit in the car, or we can go wherever. And they're like, yo, this and the third. And they gonna chop it up. It's gonna take these men 5, maybe 10 minutes to say it all, get to the root of it, and be like, oh, all right, man, I got you, and be
yep.
done with it.
Yep.
That's it.
If
We
they
are
value
we
that
do
friendship,
we
that's all
do
it's gonna
not
take.
do that. We drag things out. We
Yes.
won't let it go. And I got to a point where I was like, I can't do this. So instead of me sitting there watching these people bash me on social media, and I'm completely oblivious to what you're talking about. I don't know. You just dropped me some text messages that insinuated something, but you're not actually verbalizing it and communicating it, fully, and they're
Right.
just coming at me. So what I did was I got tired. I said, I'm too old, first of all. I'm moving in a different direction. Lauren went and deleted everybody. Baby, I deleted everybody down to the damn children. The mama, the brother, the uncle. I deleted everybody because I am not about to sit here and deal with this foolishness when you know my
And that's
phone
exactly
number,
what it
you
is.
know my home address, you know where I work, you damn near know my social security number.
Yep.
You could Morris code my ass and say we need to talk something 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 or whatever, and we can put it out there and hash it out there, but instead you decided you wanted to do all this other stuff, talk all the way around it, then go to social media, which is even worse. And
Yeah,
it's like, why in the hell are we doing this? Like, we a lot of women need to have men like attitudes, not men like behavior, but have men like attitudes in some cases, especially when it comes to friendships. Because that man, them two men will chop it up for 10 minutes and be like, "All right, bro, I'm over it. Like, I'm
yep.
good." And they will never talk about it again unless it's like
Never.
in a funny situation. Like, bro, remember that time 7 years ago, 8 years ago, I don't know when, and you thought I said, "Well, this nigga was stupid as hell. He really thought I did that stupid shit." Like, that's how they talk about it.
Yep. Yep.
When
Right.
we bring it
Right.
back up 3 years from now, it's be like, yeah, and I still don't like her. Like, what?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Like, why
And
are
I
we
still
doing that?
don't like her.
And I still don't like it because I ain't gonna never forget. Like, I say that a
Hmm.
lot, but I really don't be bothered by stuff no more. I just say it because I like the way I say certain things. It make me laugh. I find myself funny. You know what I'm saying? So for
Oh,
real.
Yeah. I sometimes, and I just told somebody this, one of my male friends, I just told them sometimes I get a little jealous of male friendships
Mhm.
because they can go to each other like, hey, what's your problem? And then they come out and talk about it and keep it moving. Or if they ain't that cool, they ain't that close, they ain't holding no weight to it. They just let it blow over, leave it alone, and keep
That's
it
it.
moving. But us, and
Mm-mm.
I'm guilty of it, I'm the type of person where if something happens, you can't just come back talking to me like ain't nothing happened. No. We're gonna sit down, we're gonna have a conversation, we're gonna iron
Right.
it out, and then we can keep it moving.
Right.
Then we can keep it moving. But I don't forget,
Right.
you act up again, I'm gonna be like, we just had this conversation and you doing it
Hmm.
again. Okay, well,
And that's true, but men, but see, that's the difference with men. Oh my goodness, these men with these ball sacks, man. Sometimes they get it right, sometimes they don't, but sometimes they do. When it comes to friendships, they always seem to get it right. Like, because a man will come and be like that, and they will never forget, but they don't dwell on it in the sense of they gotta move differently. They just pay attention,
uh-huh.
and when they see that man do that again, it's cutsies. That's it.
Yep.
They don't. They
That's it.
ain't going through this long drawn out thing of we had this conversation, bro. What the fuck is really up? Unless it's something detrimental to that man's like he alcoholic or something, he using some type of drugs. So then it'll be like they'll go on and on, with it. But when it comes to something like that, they gonna see it and they gonna be like, oh, okay. So we went to this before. He doing it again. All right, boom. That man will never hear from that man again unless he reach out. He'll be like, bro, you went missing. He'll be like, yeah, bro, 'cause you know what? I couldn't fuck with you like that no more. That's just that. I couldn't you showed me some shit. I couldn't fuck with you like that no more. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no ill will towards you. We cool, in the sense of it, but stay over there. Not us
Yep.
women. We be sitting up there and we be looking like, she laughed a little funny. Like, that bitch acting funny again. Like, no, she not. Like,
yeah.
she just laughing
She got
different.
sore throat, so she laughing different. Like, come on now.
And see, and then we
We
give too many
analyze
chances.
everything.
We give women too many chances to keep stepping on us and screwing us over. We really have no backbone when it comes to our friends. We will yell at our man 10,000 times if he do something wrong. One thing wrong. He ain't grabbed. He took the trash out, but he ain't grabbed the recycling. Oh, I'm stepping over shit in the house, and you ain't da 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 da. And we'll keep dragging it on out.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yeah.
that female will come by and we'll have that conversation and it's in the third, and then they'll screw us over again and we'll have another conversation. We just keep letting it slide. We keep letting it slide. And then we get mad at them because they treated us like this. But damn it, we need to be mad at ourselves. We allowed it to happen more than twice.
That part.
Yeah.
That part.
You know what? And I think, and this is my personal opinion, I feel like that we go through that a lot because I feel like, and this can happen with men's friendships too, but I feel like with female friendships, we have to be a little more careful because a lot of the times they're not really trying to be, they're not really there for good intentions. I don't know what it is, but I found that a lot of females can dislike someone, but befriend them with
Mm-hmm.
and go into the relationship with the wrong intentions
Yep.
from the get go. And it's hard to deal with those type of friendships because when they disrespect you, they know how to manipulate the situation to have you to forgive them and give them another chance. And I feel like that happens a lot with women. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, men, I'm sure they could do that as well, but in the women relationships, whenever it's always like a friendship going bad, where the like crazy situations where the one friend killed the other friend, all that kind of stuff. That's always a situation with women. I feel like because I don't know, just I swear, I just noticed that they can dislike somebody but still try to befriend them because they have some other intentions. So
And that's where
yeah,
that's where the nigga side of me come out. I ain't gonna be fake friends with nobody.
yeah, I
That,
don't.
I just can't do it. If I don't rock with you, I don't rock with you. I ain't gonna be
Right.
rude to you. I ain't gonna be disrespectful to you.
Right.
But I'm not gonna be a fake friend. That's what it is. You being
Mhm,
Yeah.
fake friends. Like, why are you coming around this
Mm-hmm.
person that you don't like? Anybody I don't like, I can't be in their company.
Right.
If I can't rock
mhm.
with you like that, I have to respect you from
Right.
afar. We might have mutual
Great
friends,
friendship.
but I really can't have you in my space like that. I have to
Mm.
protect my space. That's
Mhm.
my brother Darren. Hey Darren.
Yeah, I like what he said. I love that we avoid friendships that we observe could potentially threaten our integrity. We don't do that. We see all the damn red flags going into every relationship,
I was,
whether it's with a man or with a woman. It don't matter. We see them red flags and we think we can fix shit because we want to heal every damn thing. We want to put everything back
yeah,
together. And while we trying to put somebody else back together, we over
They
here we
tearing us
broken and they tearing bits and pieces away from us, that we need to be vital and go on in life and be sustainable to this earth. And men don't do that. They ain't beat for that shit.
yeah.
That
I was
man,
just gonna
that
say,
man will sit there and know that he's working 19 hours a day to build a business and
mhm,
sleeping just a little bit and eating barely, if any at all, because his goal is to build this business. And then he got another man that comes into his life, and this man don't want to do shit. He barely can keep a job. He got a bunch of drama going on, whatever. It's like that man will see that other man be like, look, bro, I have no problem with you as a person. But currently, your life situations and how you moving is gonna damage the brand that I'm building for me. It's gonna
mhm.
damage it. I cannot allow you to latch on to me. Like this is what a man will think. They won't necessarily say it, but they will see that shit. They will feel it immediately, and they be like, So they're gonna start putting that man in the sense of, well, when I do have free time, I'll let you know, bro.
to
You know
holler.
what I'm saying? Like, I'm over here building this business, but when I do have time, I'm gonna get up with you. And that's how you really know when a man is really being very cautious about the men that he's encountering.
Mm.
We don't do that. We'll be like, oh, she just going through a rough patch. She got a lot
Mhm.
going on. She made some bad decisions, and we want to be moms Mabley and Mary Poppins and shit, and we want to be like, oh, but she's a good person. I know her heart. You really don't, because if you knew her heart, then you would know that you're a hairstylist and she only befriending you and using you so she can get her hair done half price if she pay anything at all. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? So pay attention.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Because she only show up when her hair raggedy. But when you
Right.
type her hair out and she looking good and she can hit these streets, all of a sudden it's, girl, I'm so busy at work. Girl, I can't do this. Oh, she got excuses, but girl, my hair is falling apart. Girl, when can you fit me in?
Yep.
Pay
Yeah,
attention to that shit. But we be wanting to do so many favors for the women that we call friends that we love. And oh, girl, don't worry about it. I got you. Yeah.
mhm.
And that's exactly how it be.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's actually a good segue into what I was mentioning before about like there's 10 signs to look for in a friendship that's not really a friendship. Because like you said, Lauren, we tend to ignore all the red flags. Like, and it could be right there. You can feel it in your stomach. You can even have thoughts to yourself, like, like that didn't seem, that seems a little off, but we'll, give somebody the benefit of the doubt and just try to fix it. But,
All the
or ignore it or write it off and excuse it and be like, oh, they probably didn't mean that. But generally speaking, according to alux.com, There are 10 signs that your friend does not have good intentions or isn't a true friend. One, you are more willing to help them than they are willing to help you, or it's a one-way street. Two, boundaries are being crossed. Example, forcing you to do things you don't want to do, making decisions that affect you without being considerate. Three, they like too much gossip. So they're always trying to get you to share secrets, like trying to get you to get comfortable and tell them all your business just so they can put it in a pocket and use it against you later, or say they can go tell one of their friends something that you said.
Mm-hmm.
Um, oh my God, whatever, Ramon. Four, they disrespect you, and is usually very passive. Like is usually like little comments that they'll make, or they'll make jokes that's disguised as jokes, but they really like dissing you low key,
Mm-hmm.
saying stuff like, "Oh, how's your little project going? Or how's your little business
Right.
doing?" You know, and it's just like,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Uh, Jealousy, number five. So they don't like when you have, and it's not necessarily talking about jealousy of you doing better than them, not this particular list, or not this particular one, but they're talking about jealousy of your friendship altogether. Like they don't like to see you having friends with anyone else, or seeing you happy with someone else. They just want you to themselves. That's not really that's, I mean, some people might argue that that's, they can still be a good still be a genuine friend, but I don't think so in my opinion. If I can't have other friends outside of you, that's a problem.
Right.
um
Yeah.
yes. Number six, negativity. They judge you for making mistakes, or they encourage you to share your opinion just so they can disagree with that opinion. Like I had someone do that before, where it's just like, oh well, what you think? What you think? Tell me your opinion about this. And as soon as I say something, they're trying to find anything to
Right.
argue with just because they want to argue with me. Because they feed off the negative energy between us, and that's
Mm-hmm.
not good.
Yep.
Seven, deceitful. So they manipulate you into certain situations. Number eight, they do not accept you for who you are. So they try to get you to change, try to get you to dress how they dress, hang with who they hang with, or just trying to get you to fit into their world. Number nine, they seem to be in competition with you, something that Mel had mentioned. So every move they make is to one up you. So it's
Yep.
like you do one thing, they got to do the next thing 10 times better. And it's like, and just to make themselves feel better about, I guess, their situation, they're not rooting for you at all. And lastly, like we all said, your intuition. Number 10, your intuition is telling you that they are not a good friend. So feeling uncomfortable around them, seeing little things that they saying and doing that's not right, or let's make they moving funny. Like honestly, anytime your gut feels off or your intuition feels off, it's more than likely it's right. Like that
Mm-hmm.
person is not looking out for you. So
Yeah. Yeah. And that was something, just to touch on that a little bit. My mom, shortly before she passed, she would tell me about one friend that I had that she didn't feel like was really my friend. And I'm like, what do you mean? We've been friends for 10 years, And she's like, well, you're not there. She's not there for you like you are for her. She doesn't go out of her way like you go out of your way. And you just need to watch yourself. Little did I know she was right. And now we're no longer friends. Um, uh, that to me, it's like you have to listen to your intuition, because my mom didn't know that years before. I already had that feeling, but like we do,
Mm-hmm.
blow it off, think
Yep.
it's just us. Then we play on ourselves, like, oh, you just insecure. Like I didn't really have many females friends as a child because I was bullied by most females when I was a child in
Mm-hmm.
elementary school, and not so much middle school, but in elementary school, I was bullied a lot by the girls in the school. So that carried on into adulthood. I was quote unquote bullied by past coworkers and different females in my life. So I kind of sort of took that and got in my head and said that I was insecure
Mm-hmm.
instead of really looking at the situation for what it was.
Right.
And eventually, I saw it for what it was. And it's crazy that since my mom passed, I don't really I don't really hold on to people like that. I
Right.
don't. Like she showed me a lot, and I kind of
Mhm.
just look at it like, hey, if you here, you here. If you not, you not.
That part.
I can't. I'm not. No, I'm no longer fighting to keep a friendship. You should.
Right. You
Friendships
can
are
only value what's valuable.
exactly valuable
You
is
know.
valuable. Don't try to fight and run after friendships. If they
Mhm.
are genuine friendships, they will last.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
Period.
Absolutely.
They
Absolutely.
will
You know,
last.
it's so funny. I'll tell you this. I had a friendship that ended. It's the funniest thing ever. I had a friendship that ended, or it started getting rocky because we had a disagreement about gospel singers. Yeah. So it was during I don't know what was the TV show that used to be on. They used to be singing and stuff like that, and it was I think Kurt Franklin was a judge or something like that. Yolanda Adams was a judge one time. It was one of them
I
singing
know what
shows.
Sunday
you're talking
best.
about. I forgot
Sunday
what.
Sunday
best.
Best. There you go. So this was around the time that that girl Corinne came on and was singing, and so I don't really care for Corinne too much. And then what's that other girl that I mean she sings and it looked like I swear I could see her baby teeth when she sing. Um oh my god, she just opens up her mouth so wide and it just annoys the hell out of me. Gospel singer, she's kind of she's kind of chunky and brown skin.
She young,
Yeah, she's young.
short. Oh, what is her name?
I can't think of her name. See,
I should
she's not rememberable for
I'm
me.
about to say this
So
ain't my expertise. I don't listen to
know.
gospel enough like I should.
So it's funny because I said she was like, girl, oh them two could sing, oh this and the third, blah 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 blah. And I said, okay. I said, well, I don't really care for Corinne like that, but to each his own. If that's who you like, that's who you like. Girl, you don't know what you talking about. She the best one up. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, but it's my opinion that
Right.
I don't,
And
for
I know
me,
you
she
who you
don't
talking
do it.
about, and I agree. She can't.
And I was like, well, we can agree to disagree. No, you just need to get your ears checked because you don't know what you listening to. You don't know what you hear. And I'm just like, over somebody, first of all, neither one of us is probably going to ever meet. Secondly, is over an opinion because I chose to not really care for it. Same thing about Beyonce. She is a diehard Beyonce fan. She said to me, oh yeah, I bought my tickets. They was a little bit about, $700-800 to get my tickets. I said, well, girl, listen, you ain't got no kids. You could do that. I said, me personally, I'm on a budget. I couldn't do it. Plus, on top of that, I'm not really a Beyonce fan. I do enjoy her music, but I wouldn't consider myself a fan enough to want to buy tickets. Or,
Right.
girl, you just don't know good music. She get the best shows out there. She did it. And I was just like, we're disagreeing on the most inhumane things to ever disagree on. And it
Right.
seemed like it's literally tearing the friendship down because I won't agree with everything that she's saying. And I
Yeah.
was just like, ah. But guess what I did as a woman? I pressed on in that friendship. And I got later on down the line, I started confiding in her about certain things and telling her certain things. And I text her, this is real shit. This is real tea right now. I'm about to tell y'all. Not too much, but I'm gonna tell y'all this. I text her one, I think it was December. I had just started my candle business and I said, hey, doing my first pop-up show is gonna be here in Durham, 10 minutes away from where I live, 13 minutes from where she lives. She never responded to my text message about me and my business and showing up. That was red flag one. Red flag two was she's so Christian. She's just so this and she's so that, right? I text her
Mhm.
and I said, hey, me and Stevie, having some financial hardships. I just lost my job and stuff like that. And so we don't know if we're going to be able to pull off Christmas the way we normally would for the kids. Please do me a favor. Talk to the big guy for me because, I said she's always a special friend to him. I said, you're a little bit closer to him than I probably am. So throw a prayer up for us and make sure, that we kind of get at least with most of the things that the kids want. She never responded to my text message. I asked her for a prayer. She never
Wow.
responded to my text message. Let me tell you something. That was the last time she heard from me. She texted me that following May for my birthday and said, hey, praying all is well with you and the family. So now you praying?
Now you praying.
Now you praying. So I said at that point, I could go back and forth. I could do female shit and go back and forth and say, blah, 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 you did this, you wasn't there. You did. Lauren never responded because Lauren's on a different wavelength now. I started
Mhm.
tapping into my man mental and was like, fuck this. Like, no, because anytime you needed me, I was there. I picked up the phone the late nights, the early mornings. I listened. Whatever. I gave advice. I took criticism. Like, and all I asked was for a prayer. Mm-mm. No man on this earth would be like, I'm not feeding myself back into this bullshit. Why would I go back? So I was like, that was it. That was the last time she heard from me. That was about maybe 4 years ago.
Mm.
But at the peak of COVID, God showed everybody's true colors.
Oh yes.
Whether you believe in God or not, I don't care who you believe in. If you pray, if you praying from the Quran, if you praying from the Bible, if I'm a practicing Buddhist. So you know what I'm saying? Whoever, whatever gods showed exactly who and everybody was made of during COVID. It brought it all out. So it was an easy departure. You feel me? But see that it took a pandemic for a lot of women to see the things that men already saw the first time they met that man. You know
That's
what I'm
true.
saying? Like, nah, this nigga
Yeah.
on some bullshit. This nigga on some gravy shit. Like, look how he moving. I ain't messing with that man. Like, especially if it's somebody that somebody else brought around, and they'd be like, oh nah,
Oh yeah.
your boy, you a little funny. But I'm gonna chill over here. Like, nah, I got you though. You my man. But I mean, your boy a little funny, and then they gonna pay attention to the one who brought him around and say that is my man, but he did bring him around, and they're gonna start backing up from that man. I'm telling you, men, when it comes to friendship, their intuition is always on point. Like, we
Yeah.
just don't possess it.
Yeah, and I think we do is just is clouded by the nurturing. We want to give everybody a chance. We like, you know what?
Everybody we know, but we
Like
just
just
want
like
to
you said,
love everybody.
yes,
Everybody.
Like
because
love
the
them
red
from
flags
there.
are right there. You just like you said, like, oh, well, this could change, or maybe they didn't mean nothing, or
Yep.
because I swear I kicked myself so many times throughout the years by ignoring my gut, by just ignoring the signs, thinking that this person is, is more behind what I'm seeing or something, and I swear I hurt myself doing that every time. One
Mhm.
day I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna just leave people alone and leave them where they at.
One day I'm gonna get it. One day I'm gonna get it, mama. I promise, but mama, we gonna make it one of these days. I'm gonna
One
get it,
day.
mama. I know your mother probably like, yeah, we didn't had this talk. I didn't told her she got to
Yeah,
get there.
you
Cause
Yes.
finally
mama, what it
got it.
is,
You finally got it.
once the mamas give birth, they know.
They
Them
know.
Oh
mamas be
yeah.
knowing. Like, and
Yeah.
then this is another thing too to touch on, that a lot of females learn how to be a friend and not be a friend from their mothers.
You
A
know
lot
what?
of it,
Mom touched on that a little bit.
a lot of it starts at home too,
Yep.
because I have been a witness to conversations of women saying, "Well, baby, listen, your friend is going through a lot. Listen, try to understand. You may need to pull back a little bit, but still be there for her. You can be her friend, but not take on her problems. Be there to listen. That will mean more in the long run. And anything that you can try to do in the physical sense, and
Mm.
other women, girl, listen, that's her problem. Girl, girl,
Uh-huh.
don't worry about yourself. Girl, focus on yourself. And if she can't give you what you need to, so it's be like, oh, okay. Like, I've seen it. Like, well, damn, I didn't ask her to take on my problem. I just came to her to talk to her because she said she was my friend. Now you telling her to tell me, screw me and my situation. And then they grew up with that same mentality, and that's why the type of
Right.
women that they are as adults.
Yes. Oh, my mom, she was commenting on
That
your
is so
story,
true.
Lauren. She said someone who supposedly calls themselves your friend wouldn't get angry over something so petty because everyone has their own likes and dislikes.
Very
And
true. Very
yeah,
true, Miss
and
Wright.
that's
You are
such
absolutely true. Like, that is
yeah.
very true. And it took me a while to learn that, because I just kept saying I always grew up in hard friendships. So I always thought that it was supposed to be this way. So I was like, well, we supposed to disagree and kind of, go through some turmoil and no,
Yes.
we not.
Yes,
No, we
and
not.
that literally was like just like one of the things on the list. Like she just loved negativity. 9 times out of 10, she just wanted to argue, so she was just trying to wait for you to say something
Yeah.
that she disagreed with, so she could be like,
Right.
no, you don't know what
Right.
you're talking about. But
Mm-hmm.
that do bring me to my next question. I did want to ask you guys: do you think that making friends get harder is harder with age?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think that way because as we get older, we become more set in our ways. And we know what we can handle, what we can't handle, what we're going to
Mm-hmm.
tolerate, what we're not going to tolerate, and we tap into that man mentality sometimes as we get older. Most times, as we get older, and we'll see a female coming. She seems nice. She seems like somebody we want to bring into the
Yep.
fold, but then we quickly see, Oh, she got 10 different baby daddies and ain't none of them in the picture. She yelling at the kids all the time every time I call her. The kids ain't never clean. Oh, that's not a friend. I can't. Mm-mm. She can't
Mhm.
keep a job. She talking about this one. Every time she call me, she want to talk about somebody. It's
Mhm.
never nothing positive. Okay, no, I can't be that friend. Nope, bye.
Mhm.
So we kind of, as we get older, we know what we can and cannot tolerate. So it's just like, you cool, but we gonna have to be cool at the office because we
You
can't bring
know
it out
what?
the office.
I have, as I've gotten older, because I think I'm older than both of y'all. So, and I'll be 40 in a couple of months, and I have gotten out of the looking at certain dynamics. As Mel mentioned, like she got a bunch of baby daddies. I stopped looking at that because unfortunately we a lot of us make poor decisions, and we can't help that. We didn't believe in abortions or things like that, or we just like we made mistake thinking that the baby was going to keep that man, and it took us a while, in order so for us to get it. I don't look at stuff like that because people characteristics can change with age. I look at the gossiping part. I look at every time I talk to you, you got something negative to say. Are you
Yeah,
talking to me? You talking my ear off about somebody else in a negative light. I look at stuff like
Mhm.
that. Stuff like that I used to feed into and be like, oh girl, da, 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 da. Now I be like, ooh, wait a minute, why you calling? Why you telling me this stuff? You know what I'm saying? But I have some friends to this day, I have some friends that I met, years later, who I have a friend of mine who she has 5 kids by 4 different men. And she'd be the first to tell you, I was looking for love. I was looking for love in all these men. I thought that by having a baby with this man would give me love. And it took me until my fourth child to realize that I can't look for love through conceiving a child and thinking that that's going to keep him there. I had to look for other things. First of all, the one thing she said on her list was stability. Is this man stable? And so that right there is what let me know I can actually still be her friend because her
I was
view
about to
has
say
now
that.
changed. Her
Exactly.
characteristics of what she's looking for and what she's trying to tap into has changed from the first couple of years that I met her. So now me and her actually can vibe a little bit on a certain level. You know what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
it's the negativity that I just can't get into.
Yeah.
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 Now,
You know,
before we go, what did he say? Wait, what did he to the closet? To the clap. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Hmm.
Before we go, I want to touch on the importance of female friendships because we kind of talked about all of the negative parts of it, and there are a lot of negatives, but there there's actually some importance to female friendships. Like we said, men are not emotional creatures. And even though we might have a lot of male friends, we still need that female friendship. That one female, two female, however many females
Hmm.
that we can go to when we're not feeling our greatest because
Hmm.
women are the best nurturers. We need those friendships that we can piggyback off of. Only a mother is going to be able to console another mother.
Yeah.
Only, a woman going through female problems can
Hmm.
speak to female problems and be there. Only another woman is going to be able to fix your hair like you want it to be fixed when y'all out. Only only women can do certain things. So there is an importance level to the friendship. I read something online that says female friendships reduce loneliness and isolation. And research shows that close female friendships are more important for women than they are for men. We touched on that a little bit. And spending time with girlfriends releases serotonin and
Hmm.
oxytocin, uh, and I missed my spot. The bonding hormones, those are bonding hormones, and these connections are important to us as women to thrive in wellness. And I fully agree with that. A lot of times we get together with our homegirls, the ones that we are close friends with.
Hmm.
We can chop it up, chat it up, watch our chick flicks, and eat our popcorn and be fat. Watch
mhm.
Netflix or whatever the case may be. Run to the mall with our friends. Go to the movies with our friends. Just chop it up and be girly girls or be lazy girls, and a lot of times we can't, grab those connections. I'm keeping that light, but it goes deeper too.
Right.
A lot of times we can't have those connections with men that we can have with women.
Mm-hmm. That's true. I mean, I would have to agree with all of that. That's very true. So, support. Females support each other in a certain way that men can't, or don't know how to. And so it is still important to have at least one friend,
Hmm.
at least one. And like my grandmother used to say, you'll be lucky if you leave this earth with at least one.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
Yep. Agreed, agreed, agreed.
yeah.
All
Okay.
right.
Well, before we get on out of here, we'd like to thank everybody who has watched us on today. We are
Yes.
at
Thank you.
4:02.
Thank you. We appreciate
Great,
it.
great conversation on today. Before we leave, we want to talk about our sponsor for today. And I'm going to ask Moan to come in. What up? What
Hey,
up? What up?
Mo.
Tell us
Hey,
about our sponsor, please.
yeah. So let me get this out of here. All right. So if you look at the little description right here, get 10% off using the code ANEP, for the Dubby Energy Powder product. So the guys, of course, talk to us, and you guys get 10% off, and it's supposed to be the energy you get without, well, everything's. How should I say that? It's supposed to give you everything that coffee supposed to give you, but without all the bad stuff in it, like the jitters and the crashes. You don't get that with
Mm-hmm.
this stuff.
Okay.
So try it out. Ours is coming. Haven't came yet. Um, we got the one that has the tea blend in it, and there's a few of them that are sold out with the fruit punch is the other one I want to try, and the in this one right here, the this berry here, that you see at the bottom right hand corner. So yeah, if you guys buy it, it'll help out the channel a whole lot, and we will truly appreciate it. And everything that we get, it would go towards advertisement. We are not going to pocket any other money.
All
Right.
right, so everybody that's watching, anybody that come on after the broadcast is done, go up there and hook us up. Go on and get that 10% off.
Yeah,
And don't
yeah,
forget,
There you go.
subscribe to the channel.
Subscribe.
If
yep,
you
yep. Like,
enjoyed this
subscribe.
podcast today, share it with somebody that might enjoy it as well. Until next time,
It's
ladies.
been real. Appreciate you guys.
First